Alright, so we have a Taya. Player's new, player was bots a bunch of times. Learn what his skills do, whatever. So I'm not going to criticize his aim or anything. Aim and mechanics come with time, but I'm going to tell you like a trick. So, Sirius, you see the Sirius, he gave you the most problems. It's because he does a lot of burst damage, and you're not negating the burst damage with your abilities. So, when a Sirius spaces in like that, you gotta think about his intent. How does Sirius succeed? Sirius succeeds by doing burst damage on you, and it's damage in a small time frame, and then waiting for his skills to be back up, and then doing it again. To solve this, you can use your knockback. Wind Strike, your Q. If you knock him back, he'll miss his M1, you won't take any damage, and he'll be vulnerable to you because you're a ranged hero. So they hit him a bunch of times, right? We didn't do that, so you took a little bit of chunk of damage. Not a big deal. You wait for the counter, so that's good for a new player. You saw the counter and you decided not to hit it. That's a good first step. I'm glad you did that. Another instance, just to reinforce the point, you got the Sirius, same intent. You had the opportunity to Wind Strike, but you didn't do it. So the lesson you need to take from this is that the patterns happen. When you see a Sirius space into you like that, he wants to hit you and do burst damage to you, and you can negate that easily with your Q. It's hard to do it like on reaction without thinking beforehand. All right, this is how Sirius works. I'm just gonna knock him back, right? But now, since you watch this video, you'll think, all right, when a Sirius or really any other kind of character jumps in to me like that, I'll just Q and knock him back. The way you're going to use your knockback and all your skills are going to evolve over time, because when other characters get knocked back by that, they're going to try to adapt and change. So you should also adapt and change along with it. Alright, so we got a Rukhan player asks, how do I do better as Rukhan? And let me tell you right now, Rukhan is absolute garbage. But there's a way to play him to be effective, and I'm going to show you, well, I'm not going to show you, I'm going to tell you how, I'm going to tell you what you've done is the exact opposite of how you play him effectively. So, you have to understand something. As Rukhan, you're not a melee hero. You're not going to win M1 trades versus ranged characters. You're not going to win M1 trades with melee characters. Even with Curse up, you're not going to do it. You set up bursts, you have a lot of control, and yeah, your Shadow Bolt is going to be your top source of damage every time. So you never want to engage in melee, because watch what happens when you engage in melee. Because Sirius and Juman just whoop your ass. You're not a melee character. This isn't your fault. Watch, you're gonna die. You're gonna die, and you've only done double-digit score, 69. I do that with girls all the time, and I do that with Rukhan all the time. I get double-digit score, and I'm a goddamn tournament winner. All right, I won 1 billion tournaments. I'm a really good player, and I regularly get double-digit score as Rukhan. So don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about that. Like, he's a ranged character. You need to sit back, throw Shadow Bolts, and wait for opportunities. Pull them in. Do your Defile Blade so you can get the silence, set up burst, and then just do it all over again, over and over again. Just throw fucking Shadow Bolts all the time. You're a fucking range character. Blame Stunlock. Alright, so I'm gonna show you something you almost did right. So you're here, this fucking retard comes in, counters hit, whatever. He's got nothing. Pull him in, silence, great. But you forget that you're not a melee character. You're not a melee character. You're a ranged character. When you have opportunities like this, you want to throw Shadow Bolts. You're not a guy that can just stick on people, you know? You need to just sit back and throw Shadow Bolts. Hey, this is fine. This is fine. Everything you're doing here is fine. But I've yet to see a Shadow Bolt. Like, you think you're a melee character. I've seen one Shadow Bolt. You need like, I need to see like 1 million Shadow Bolts. See, after this, after you hit this guy, I need to see a Shadow Bolt. No Shadow Bolt. See, this is why you're not a melee character, because you can't do anything in melee. This is just how the character is. I'm sorry. Can you win this? Oh no, I know what's gonna happen. Yeah. Like I said, you're not a melee character, throw shadow bolts. If you don't like the gameplay, blame Stunlock. Played in this tournament. His name is Alteg Zero, something like that. He's playing with his partner in some tournament, right? But I need to tell you something. I can't really comment on your play because I think you're playing in like a really bad region. I want you guys to look at this ultimate and tell you why I can't commentate on this because he's too laggy. Everything he does like doesn't matter because it's just lag. You know what I mean? Like look, watch this ult. Okay, I want you to look at the indicator, and I want you to look where he goes. Look at the indicator. He puts it there. You see the delay? This is why you don't play outside your region. He should have killed that Bako. That Bako should be dead. But because of delay, and the fact that he flick shot that, he missed. So there really isn't much I can commentate on this. I'm sorry, but I do want to just point this out. This is why you don't play outside your region. Or if you do, know what to expect. Your main problem is going to be that it doesn't matter if you flick shit, it's going to like take like a second before, like where your cursor was a second before the cast. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. So Dev No asks, how could I have done better versus Croak and Jumong in a specific circumstance? Well, I'm going to go through a couple of things first, some basic primer stuff. Croak does most of his damage in burst combos from his stealth. And his partner helps out afterwards, right? You need to realize, how can I deal with the stealth? If you can negate the stealth, if you can minimize that, you'll chip away at these guys no problem. Because Croak doesn't have great sustain, he has great burst. Jumong has no sustain, like he can't like give himself health, So you can just chip him away, keep getting the orb and all that stuff. But only if you figure out, how do I deal with Croak's stealth? Because that's the main threat. There's two ways for you to deal with Croak's stealth. Well, three ways actually. You can either panic him away, so the stealth wears away, kind of risky because he's invisible. You can barrier before the damage happens, but it's also risky because it could be a waste, and you could just like not, just wait you out. You know what I mean? Or you could switch targets on the one that's not barriered, or you can use Clarity Potion. Clarity Potion is meant for this. Like it's not crucial. You don't need it all the time, but you can always save it for these specific circumstances. If you know you're about to get stunned, you throw a Clarity Potion right away on yourself, you're going to dispel the stun, and it's only going to last like 1 second, he's going to get pushed away. No problem. If you know where he is, and when he's going to be there, you could Clarity Potion him out of stealth, and that would really fuck him up, because he has to sit back again, and wait for stealth to be up. And you can get the mid-orb, you can fuck with his partner, or you can attack him. You can do a lot of things. He's neutered when you dispel the stealth. So, save the space and the panic flask for like oh shit moments, like barriers for Rook. If you know they're gonna go on you, put barrier on yourself, you can negate the damage. But Clarity Potion is definitely your go-to when it's uncertain. You don't want to risk using panic flask or barrier in uncertain situations. But Clarity Potion is expendable and it has a high payoff. Did you hear the Croak stealth? You should know he's coming by now. This is a perfect opportunity to use what I've learned and put a Clarity Potion like right around here. Because you know he's here. He's fucking stealth here and he's running at you. And you did like a curve. He's right here. If you Clarity Potion him, you would have knocked him away, you wouldn't be stunned, you wouldn't be taking 50 damage. You barriered Rook after he took damage. I mean, I've already been through that in this video. You don't barrier unless you're about to take 50 damage. You're about to take 50 damage. You actually took almost exactly 50 damage in a 2.5 second time frame. Lucy has 190 max health. You have 138 health now. That's interesting. I watched this whole video and it didn't really matter. Like I could nitpick you all you want, but all that shit comes with time. But the biggest thing I've noticed is that you never even tried to dispel stealth. You never tried to dispel the stun. And this is just a example here of how useful it could have been to dispel it. So check this out. And it was so obvious too. This guy running in, And he stealths. It's just, you had such a huge time frame, just throw a fucking clarity. Even if you don't knock him out of stealth, you know what I mean? Just getting rid of the stun, it helps so much. You prevent so much damage. You get rid of this little like debuff that Croak has that explodes when he hits people out of camouflage. Even this fucking Rook knew. He threw a boulder. See this boulder? Like he just wants him to fuck off. But that's your job. Because you would have dispelled his stealth and you would have dispelled his venom. That clarity potion could have prevented, actually would have prevented as much damage as barrier there. Because Jumong was hitting him, he was hitting him. That must have been at least 50 damage. That could have been prevented if you just threw clarity potion. The only tip I can give you right now is figure out ways to use clarity potion. It's a very good skill. It looks kind of shit. You know, you throw a little fucking turd and it just, you know, it dispels things. Like what debuffs? I don't know any debuffs. Well, like what do I dispel? You know, like, but it's a good skill. Knockback's good. The fucking dispel's good. You just need to find a creative way to use it. This whole game you didn't use it. Learn how to use clarity potion better. And versus this, you save clarity potion for the camouflage, either preventing the stun or getting rid of the camouflage. Alright, so we have this grade 9 pro asking, how the fuck do I play a better pro? Well, I'll show you how to play a better pro. Actually, once again, I'm not going to show you, I'm going to tell you how. So check this out. At the moment the fight starts, you throw this bubble. What was the point of that bubble? You could have avoided that axe by just like moving. You do not need to use that bubble like that. So let me tell you the best thing about bubble. Say you stayed here and you didn't dive, and this guy is jumping on you. If you just put a fucking bubble in between you and knocks him like all the way on the other side of the bubble, and you get knocked on the other side of the bubble. So, and he has to walk through this fucking bubble or around it. It's like, he's not gonna fucking get you. Like, he's just not. Like, you'd be perfectly fine on your side of the bubble, and he's just there like an idiot. Like, he's not gonna get you. So, do not use bubble like this. Use bubble when some idiot's trying to get on you, and just put it in between you, and then just heal yourself. So you dive offensively here. That's fine, because he jumped here, you know what I mean? And you can double team the Jumong and get some really good damage in at this point. That's a perfectly fine thing to do. Perfectly fine thing to do. But unfortunately you missed the silence. And you're getting you're gonna get fucked up by this Bako. Now, imagine if, you dived and you hit the Jumong and this guy's on you. You could just put the bubble between you and then just heal yourself. You would not be taking all this damage right now. Taking a lot of damage. But you fucked up with the bubble again. Like, I know you wanted to block him, but I'm pretty sure this guy was your threat. And I know the bubble was on cooldown when you're taking damage from the Bako. Like, I understand that. Totally understand that. But, once again, you make another blunder. You jump in to go on the Jumong to silence him because you want to be aggressive. You want to get, I think you did the dive just for the silence. You don't want to do that. You're fighting double DPS. They can't heal themselves. If you just play like a pussy and just healed yourself up and just start this fight all over again, you would wither them down because you guys have the healing. Just if you play like a pussy, you wither them down. You don't need to be this aggressive. It's not necessary. So you're gonna die. You die because you're way too aggressive and you did not play like a pussy. You need to play like a pussy. So this is just another instance of you not using your skills properly and just getting absolutely fucking demolished. Just to drive the point through. So you throw the fucking bubble here. Like, for what purpose? Like, you need to use that bubble defensively, not offensively. It's not really an offensive skill. It can get people off your fucking nutsack so easily, but you waste it. It's a pretty long cooldown. It's 10 seconds. I know, like, everyone's like, alright, time to get this fucking pearl. Here would be a good time to counter. Or to dive away. It doesn't matter. But you're diving over there. Diving aggressively. And you're just gonna eat so much fucking damage. You're just gonna fucking eat it. You're eating it right now. I just want you to imagine an alternate universe where you just dived not next to them. And you just dived away. Your Jumong would have health because you wouldn't be so worried about surviving on your own. You would have more health. And maybe these guys would have less health. Who the fuck knows? But you're just... I feel like you're just using your skills as off cooldown. And you're using your dive as a way to just charge up your weapon. No, the charge on your weapon is like a luxury. The dive's purpose is to fucking dive away. Not to dive into them so you can get silenced and outtrade them with your M1s. That's not how you do this. So you're just gonna... take a lot of damage from this Bako. I mean, you have an alternative. You could use your bubble shield. It's basically like a mini barrier, and it dispels. So that's another thing you could do if like you're in an oh shit moment, you have no skills, but you're taking damage. Bubble shield's a very good skill. Same thing with this guy. Could have saved him with bubble shield.